What's up? What's up, my friends? Ooh, it's been a while since I've been on here. Still suffering from a bad cold. Seemed like I didn't have for like 3 weeks. Feel like 3 months though. But I want to talk about looping and to give y'all a understanding of the structure of the group is when somebody put out a some poetry. We use poetry as the example. And every time somebody comments on the poetry, of course, it goes to the top. And as peoples add their other poetry on there, it starts to go down to the bottom until somebody else comment on that same poetry and it goes to the top, which is a fair structure because it gives a chance and an opportunity for the peoples who reading the poetry to say I like the poetry, and also it put that poetry back on top for other peoples to view. Now, looping works a little different. Looping is when that same person who put the poetry out there decides to share it back to the group, which is no need for that because if somebody loves your poetry and somebody comment on it, it's going to go to the top anyway. But if you write some poetry and nobody comment on it, what makes you think somebody wanted to see it again and again? By you looping it. And see, once you keep looping something and people come back and think they're seeing something, a different poetry, when they're seeing the same poetry, people get frustrated with it and then finally they just leave. And see, this is what I'm trying to avoid is the looping. And you who do that, the person who do that, they know who I'm talking about. This is no no on this group. No looping. If you create some poetry and people's are not gravitating to it or they're not feeling it, then create another one. Don't loop that poetry and then try to put it back into people's face, thinking the second time they're going to comment on it, or a third, or a fourth, or a fifth time. You just overwhelming your your welcome when you do that, and you cause people to get frustrated with you. I think somebody wanna talk to me, and I'm inviting them. Excuse me again. I'm still got under the weather, so ooh wee. I'm still trying to struggle with this. Uh, I'm trying to invite you, but for some reason, let's see here. I'm trying to see what it adds you. Well, I'm trying to invite you. Okay, I guess you don't want to talk, or either my phone is acting up and not accepting you. But back to the looping that I was talking about is I don't want nobody doing that because that's unfair to a lot of other peoples when you do that. You know, just write your poetry, and if peoples like it, peoples will leave comments on it, and it will go to the top. And depend based on the peoples or how many peoples like it, it will be there. But if people start to not come in on it, well, it's going to slowly go down, and then other peoples will have opportunity for peoples to read their poetry as they create and put more out there. And then if you find out your poetry is slowly not getting the comments, then you might want to consider and writing a new poetry that's going to bring people's back to it on a new flavor and this and that. So that's one of the main things I wanted to address. Hey, Miss Ray, I see you watching me, and you're looking good there too. But I wasn't trying to be on here too long, and I'm still trying to see is Courtney, is you trying to talk to me or what you trying to do here? Okay. Well, on that note, I'm gonna try to take care of this cold, and I'm gonna get on off of here, and I hit you up later if I need to talk about anything else. Thank you for listening. Hey, see that right there? See that trend right there? And connect. See it come together right there, and then you see how it just fade out. See that?